Hey YouTube, back at it again with another what if. This what if is what if Legends candidates were part of Team Flash. If you know what I mean by that, so I'm talking about the Legends candidates from I what if Rip uh, people before recruiting the Legends video, where four or other people he picked up that went with him. So these are the people who stayed behind in Central City. To help Flash with his superheroing, ring endeavors, and all that other stuff. Also, if you see me looking down, I'm probably looking at the list of names I have for this what if, like the people who were left behind. And and let's start the what if. The legends are now on the Wave Rider, including in the four or extra candidates that Rip recruited. Now, the people left behind and stayed behind and in the respective cities is of Star City and Central City. This story I'm saying right now will be about those who stayed behind in Central City. Now, after Irving, Kendra, and are and also meeting Marcus and his four brothers, there's the legends are not of the helping out the timeline, and while also trying to get rid of Vandal Savage. So, Damian, Brody, Miguel, and Alejandro and Star are helping Central City with the metahumans alongside Barry, or with them starting with stuff being the trickster for some doing crazy stuff on Christmas, and after that, they'll start to train with their powers. With Alejandro trying to also just go a few things about our vibing abilities that he basically knows how to do. Ooh. Barry, Harry, and Cisco would still want to go to Earth too. Who to say if Harry's daughter Jessie, after learning about how Harry taking Flash's speed to give it to Zoom and women wondering why he did it, they would then go to Earth 2. But the only slight difference is they will not be alone, as Damian and Alejandro would go with it, and with Brody and Miguel staying behind to help the other people of Team Flash. They would still end up in Earth 2, with Barry having to take the identity of his Earth 2 counterpart, or with Damian and Alejandro staying behind. And although it didn't matter, as their Earth 2 counterparts most likely would be younger, and currently would not look like them, although their younger selves are indeed are metahumans in Earth 1 and are back in Star Labs as they stayed behind. And to learn how to use their powers before becoming heroes themselves. They did not help join on this mission. Barry and Cisco was so fangirl about Earth 2 stuff and how some of the stuff there is only ideas on their Earth, with Barry still like covering his mouth when he says their Earth. They would still be freaked out by the Earth 2 good counterpart of one of the villains that they fought. They fought alongside Jefferson Jackson, and when he first became Firestorm. Of course, or as Damian and Alejandro wouldn't be as freaked out as they were, as they most likely weren't there for that adventure, or as they only just came in with them after the Legends left. So the team still has a Firestorm in the form of Brody, Odie, Damian's brother, with Harry saying they have a Firestorm on their Earth, but the Firestorm on their Earth is in Jax or like Brody, as Odie and Barry will still pretend to be his other Earth self. Elf and go on a date with Earth 2 Iris, at Jitterbugs, where Earth 2 Joe West works at, with the only difference being And when Killer Frost attacks alongside with Deathstorm, they'll be saying they're looking for three people who don't belong here instead of already talking about Barry. Barry would still tell them to back off by calling, and would also call Killer Frost Caitlin, with Killer Frost stating that she hates that name, with Iris actually getting ready to shoot Killer Frost, but then and a blur would appear, causing Destro Killer Frost to leave. It would say we have to get all of them out of here, and we would then proceed to get out the door and tell people to follow him. With him then using his speed to get out of there, as he wouldn't know that Damian is the one who did that. And that the Deathstroke versus Killer Frost fight would be different, as the older version of Damian would be there and would most likely be in his outfit. As he would have like some sort of tech to like put the outfit on either or a ring like Reverse Flash, or some other thing like a bracelet or something. Deathstorm and Killer Frost stating that Zoom will like taking their speed, with Firestorm telling them to split up, with Killer Frost attacking Barry, and Deathstorm attacking Damian. And Damian would then try to outmaneuver Firestorm, with him actually starting to run around places. This is similar to what Barry did in the original timeline. Damian would grab at the Jay Garrick helmet that would be on a statue somewhere, and would ricochet a Deathstorm's fire blast back at him causing Firestorm to get blasted. Instead of Killer Frost in this universe. So Killer Frost would be angered at Damian ice blasting at him, and for trying to attack Ronnie, as Killer Frost would still love Ronnie, just like how Caitlin loved Ronnie. So, he'll try to ice blast at him, but that would cause Barry to then have the advantage, and he would then, unlike the original timeline, he would spin his arms around and like wind blast at Killer Frost, causing her to get knocked out with Barry and Damian going back to Star Labs, as with Earth to Joe West actually being alive in this timeline. Now, everything that happens in Earth 2 will still end up being the same. Iris would still try to attack Deathstorm, Killer Frost, and Reaver at their lair, with Flash coming to help alongside Damian and his superhero identity, while also being alongside Alejandro in his superhero stuff for this costume that would have similar, or he would have glasses similar to Vibes, but they'll be different, and it would cause as Reaver to snarkily reply saying, "If you join me, I can help you." Reverb stuff. Reverb with an attack with Deathstorm and Killer Frost against the three people. Earth 2, Floyd Lawton would still try to shoot at Reverb, or calling Reverb to call him a rotten shot. But out of nowhere, he would get blasted, saying it by Alejandro, saying that he wasn't a rotten shot, causing Reverb to get angry and shoot Vibe Blast at Alejandro, with Alejandro matching them blast for blast, and Deathstroke and Killer Frost being distracted and about to hit Damian and Barry, with Firestorm with the hit actually getting onto Barry, but Damian would grab onto Barry and run away with him, causing Barry to regain his footing and start running. Deathstorm with and remarks saying, "There are no helmets here. You can't and do that same trick again." And with the Damian saying that he doesn't have to, with Damian and running in circles. This causing Deathstroke to then and try to blast at him, hoping that he would hit. Damien, but Damien would avoid that attack and then hit his own attack, where he would lightning blast at Death Storm, causing Death Storm to be knocked down, causing Death Storm to become unconscious. But he would not demerge, as it was never shown if Firestorm would demerge if like Flash as Speed Force Lightning was shot at him. And so let's say Deathstorm is not demerged. So Killer Frost would get angry again, but instead of trying to blast at him, she would still continue to blast at Barry and blast at the floor, hoping to trip up Damien. But Damien would then do what Barry did, and when he would spin his in his hands, causing Barry to do the same. Causing Killer Frost to try to overpower them both, with it not working and them getting knocked out. Alejandro would still be fighting Reverb, but Reverb will try to Jedi Mind Trick Cisco into attacking Alejandro, but it wouldn't work. Reverb would actually get angry, into one blast, and it would actually hit at Alejandro, and Alejandro would be knocked out. But then Reverb would be knocked out as Damien would most likely have a punch Reverb in the face, as he would have had his guard down. Zoom would then appear out of nowhere, to get to most likely kill his subordinates for failing, and most likely would have kept Killer Frost alive, similar to the reasons as why he kept him alive in the original timeline. But unlike the original timeline, would say, all right, it's time for round two. Ooh, and this time you won't break the back of another speedster. Haircut. Using Zoom to then chase after Damien, and with Barry following suit, not wanting Damien to be hurt. Alejandro would then ask us what Iris will want to do, with Iris saying that they're going to be arrested for their crimes, and it's with Killer Frost later actually getting up from where she was, as with her still being a little bit tired. But after hearing that she might be arrested, she tries to get to Ronnie, but Iris would most likely try to shoot at her, or with then trying to Via Blast her, so she would end up having to leave Ronnie behind, and with an ice slide either way. Zoom would then fight Flash and Damien at the same time. Damien would then try to lightning blast at Zoom, with Barry following suit at the same time. Zoom would then catch Damien's lightning and then throw it at Barry's. He's causing Zoom to temporarily lose footing, allowing Damien to actually land a few punches in, and before Zoom punches at him and then runs away, not wanting to prolong the fight. Barry and almost most differently from the original timeline, Barry would not get captured right away. Would not get captured, or so he would then run back to where Cisco is, therefore causing a differentiation in the timeline, causing Killer Frost to be somewhat be the only survivor of that ordeal, although Deathstorm and Reverb are most likely still alive. They would most likely be imprisoned, and then Zoom could have tried to kill them, or most likely would have failed. I don't know how capturing metas works in that case, but let's just say that Harry would then tell his workers to start using the particle accelerator as a sort of meta prison, and also asking them to get phase-proof glass, as they'll make it impossible for a speedster to phase through it. So if anyone is captured there, they would not Zoom would not be able to kill them. Flash would still try to help get Jesse Quick back. But one difference from the original timeline would be Iris would have Reverb and Deathstorm most likely in metacuffs. So, she would try to interrogate the two to reveal where Zoom's lair is, so they could rescue Jesse Wells. With both of them saying they would never tell, Alejandro and Cisco would then try to do something where Alejandro would try to vibe Deathstorm, and Cisco would attempt to vibe his other self. He, Alejandro would then and touch Fire's Deathstorm either on the Firestorm Matrix or somewhere around him to hope he would get a vibe from him somewhere, with it originally not working until Deathstorm tries to punch Alejandro in the face, and Alejandro grabs his arm, causing him to actually get a vibe, a vibe to where Zoom's actual lair is located, or somewhere around that vicinity, He most likely would have vibed a memory where Deathstorm would be either flirting with Killer Frost or near Killer Frost, where Killer Frost would probably say a joke like, "Oh yeah, catch me if you can," and where Deathstorm would fly off, and the vibe would end right when Deathstorm is looking at where Zoom's lair is. Cisco would then attempt to vibe a reverb, with it not working very much, as hit most likely wouldn't work as reverb. It was also a breacher and would probably figure out a way to stop Cisco from vibing what he needs, and would instead try to vibe block him or something, and only show him a memory, a memory of him and his version of Dante. Cisco would get frustrated that he couldn't penetrate his other self's mind to get what he needs. Because 100% then say they have what they need. He causing in Team Flash to go try and rescue Jesse Wells. With them actually getting to Zoom's lair, and then Aaron actually getting up there via Speedster. He's there with Harry and Cisco staying behind, and the only people going being Alejandro, Damian, and Barry. Barry would then see Jesse Wells and then the Stranger. The Stranger would still do the same message, would still do the same knocking sound. They would try to get Jesse Wells out of there by either breaching, trying to phase through the glass with it not working. Killer Frost would then appear out of nowhere, and Damian would then run her out of the way. A Demon would then and start to fight Killer Frost. So Killer Frost saying Zoom isn't here yet, but Eddie he'll return, and then you guys will be doomed. The Barry would still try to vibrate through the glass to try to get Jesse out. Alejandro would look through everywhere, and most likely would see the same thing. Would see either the same thing Caitlyn used to help Killer Frost escape, or would see something that could help them escape, help them break the glass. So Demon would try to find something to create something that would break the glass. Then he would remember that he has vibe powers and would breach each inside of the cage and get Jesse out of there. They would try to get soon be known as Jay Garrick, but it's instead known as the Masked Man. And then right now, but it doesn't work. So Jay would still do the whole knocking thing, in where Barry would find out it's Morse code, and then later find out that he's spelling out the name Jay. Damian would then and still be fighting Killer Frost, and would then defeat her. But then would start to get chills, and would then return back to Zoom's hideout. With them now having Jesse, Barry would then ask Alejandro to try and make sure get the other guy out of there. But then Zoom would appear. You're saying, and you did something bad, Barry, and now you're gonna pay for it. or Zoom would then charge at Barry, and then Alejandro would Vibe Blast at Zoom, causing Zoom to stay in place with Alejandro not knowing that he could do that. With that, Damien would then start out running. Would start out running in play, Ace in a circle, similar to how Flash does when he's about to throw lightning. Alejandro knows what he's gonna do. So, right when Damien would throw the lightning, it would actually hit Zoom as Alejandro would stop his Vibe Blast, and the lightning would hit Zoom, temporarily knocking him down, causing Barry, Damien, and Alejandro and Jesse to be able to get out of there. Here, will then state that they need to get it out of there. So, they would end up returning back to Earth 1. Earth 1. Also, if you have no idea what's happening in Earth 1, Jay would still try to fight that Earthquake villain. The only difference being Brody and Miguel would be there. So, technically, a Firestorm and a Killer Frost-like person would be there trying to get at him. But he would most likely try to do like a Tremor thing, or he would probably try to hit him like a Tremor Blast or something. I don't remember how he knocked Jay the first time. Jay would then have a temporary speed, a drainage. So Brody and Miguel would then hit the Tremor dude, or with Miguel shooting an Ice Blast at the Tremor dude when the Tremor guy was lifting up his gauntlets, causing the gauntlets to be frozen. And Brody would then shoot fire at the guy, knocking him down, causing them to win. We now flash forward to when they're trying to get back to Earth 1. When all of that, so we do that with Jay still stating that velocity not takes how long to wear off, with Jay still getting shanked through the heart, or like in the original timeline. And to not put this video any longer, this has been part 1 of What If Legends candidates were a part of Team Flash. If you want a part 2, like the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and please put on the bell notification so you can find out when I'm gonna do another video. And peace, guys.